Good morning. We just arrived at Adesa Brashers in Rio Linda, and it's about 8:05. Pretty foggy today. And we're gonna go ahead and pick up 8 vehicles. 4 of our gate passes were emailed to us. The other 4 were there with security. So we now have all 8 gate passes. There's a computer out here that we're gonna go ahead and check the locations. But generally, lately, they've been all in the sold lot. And the computer's here. You go ahead and put it in the number and the location will pop. It's very cold this morning, so as I'm trying to do the inspections in the vehicles, it's actually hard to see if there's any scratches. Vehicles are very wet, but they are fairly new. So we have 2 here that we brought out. It's going to go ahead and load these 2 up, and then we're going to go ahead and go in for 2 more, deliver them, and then we will come back to pick up the other 4. I do awful backing up, so he does all the backing up.
Huh?
Okay. Stop. About. He has roughly about a foot there, roughly, because of course when this ramp here goes up, it's going to get a little closer. So you don't want to be too close. So 2 of the vehicles are loaded. You're off. He's going to go ahead and strap them down. Then we're going to go in to get the 2 other ones. He's going to go ahead and strap them when we get back. We're going to go inside into Brashers again and get 2 more vehicles. Then he will go ahead and strap all of them. While I am taking my photos of the next 2, he'll go ahead and strap those. Load up the last 2, strap them, and we will be off to the Sacramento Airport. It's 34 degrees here. The bill of ladings we're using today, purchased on Amazon, and these are 4 vehicles, but I'm only using for 2 because we're having cars and SUVs, so I'll use 2 vehicles for one and 2 vehicles for the other. And these are carbonated. There's 3 copies, but we only use 2 of them. Well, we came from Stockton. It was not as cold there, so the trailer is it's not wet for the most part. But these vehicles are very wet. Other times when the trailer's wet and the vehicle's wet, you might slide on the trailer, but with the trailer being dry, that's not the case today.
Yeah, but my fingers are frozen.
Mine are too.
I'm just glad they invented gloves.
Now we tend to get a lot of comments why he does a lot of 3 cars, and that's because that's because if there isn't 4 vehicles where you're going to be making money to the same location, of course you're only going to do 3, because ultimately you're going to haul what they have available for the price that makes sense. But today we do have 4 vehicles 2 loads of 4 vehicles. Now both loads are going to the airport, which is pretty close to here. So it just depends on the workload.
Is he in the car? Move forward.
Now again, it's always about at least a foot here, because as he goes up with the ramp, these tend to get a little closer. And you see the gap is getting a little bit closer here. The ramp is almost up, so I'm going to go ahead and get in the little blue car. We'll drive it on. Now before I drive in, of course, I'm going to wait for him to put those safety levers there, which he's doing now. You can always tell how close you are by these here.
That's good right there. Okay, bring in the next vehicle.
I mentioned this before, but what I love about the Kaufman EZ4 is I'm always able to get out of the car from the driver's side. That one's loaded. He's going to go ahead and strap down all 4 wheels. Meanwhile, I'm going to get into the last vehicle and load it up. Loaded. Of course, he still needs to strap this one down along with the one in the middle that he's working on now. And if you notice, he backed in the first one, and with the first one, when he backed it in, he's going to use the exterior hooks that he had installed back here, and the reason being is so that the tire can go all the way back. Otherwise, the tire would have to go forward in order to hook that hook. So the whole vehicle would have to be forward a few inches. And he wanted to go all the way back. He also backed up this small SUV. There's plenty of room in the front here. However, if you notice, the ramp goes higher here. So had he not backed that up and all the way, and had he drove it in the opposite, we might have been too tall. So he backs in the top 2 and all the way back so that the height would be lower, if that makes sense. Hopefully it made sense. You don't want to exceed your height limit. And then, of course, a sedan, a small car, goes in the 3rd position because, again, you want the ramp lower, and then you can have the largest vehicle back here. Even overhang, like had he had a truck here in the past, he has, and he's overhung quite a bit. But today, he has quite a bit of room. They like to hear you speak. Why did you back in the top 2 vehicles?
It takes a lot of the weight off my drive, which the rear axle of the Dodge. So I'll show you something. That's my overload spring. It's not touching right now, but there's a lot of weight up there. So if I was to go forward with the cars, this thing be on the overload springs.
And also, isn't it because of the height restrictions?
That one, yes. But explain to them, because I gotta strap this down.
Yeah, I already explained.
I mean, if you turn that vehicle around, you're gonna be a little higher.
Exactly. So this trucker, the long haul trucker there, he's waiting for this spot. He has to unload all his vehicles, but he wants to unload it here. So you haven't strapped the first car.
No, put that away.
And again, he always straps all four tires. And again, I mentioned I've gotten to the destination and one strap is either loose or off. So being that he did all four straps, and he still has three securing the vehicle. I didn't notice this before, but this rim is very scratched. I'll go ahead and note that on the paperwork. When the vehicles are wet, it's hard to notice some of the issues that they have. It's 9:54 and we just drove the 12 miles from Adesa Brashers to Hertz at the airport. We're gonna go ahead and deliver these four vehicles. Once delivered, we're gonna head back out to Brashers and pick up four more and come back over here to a different car rental facility. Now we've been here before a few times. It's fairly easy. You go through that gate, you park it in the lot there, leave the keys inside. Once you park all the vehicles, you go into the building, get a signature, and you're done. It's warmed up a little bit. It's 37 degrees, and it's still very cold. I just ran out of the lot and I noticed that he parked the vehicles here and he's out on the street putting his rims away. This is the last vehicle. We've been here before. It's 10:38. We just arrived back at Brashers to pick up the four.
Yeah, let's go.
The four other vehicles. And like earlier, we're gonna go ahead. We already have our gate passes. They were emailed to us. The last two vehicles are Mercedes, and we forgot the higher end vehicles. The keys are not inside the vehicle, but they're at the security desk. So when we took out two, we stopped at security and got the keys of these two.
So we got to go back and get them at the car shop.
Right?
That's right. Drop your comments at the bottom and subscribe. Like, we're on like. Let me know what we could do a little different. We could even take off our mask.
Because we're outside, you're right.
Yeah.
But I'm freezing, so I have mine on.
So I'm gonna put this on, not because of the virus.
Because I'm cold.
We're cold.
We pulled the four vehicles.
I hate this car. I can't even.
You can't see?
Look at the little window they made. How are you supposed to look? If there's a fire, you're not going to be able to. Look at this.
Well, I can probably get out.
No, look at this. This is unsafe. Little ass, what were they thinking? We need to cut this. How am I supposed to back up with the mirrors folding like that?
Whatever you no, but you did.
Fucking Mercedes.
Stop.
Oh,
Mercedes are good cars. What did you do to the mirror?
No, I put it in reverse. It does that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How are you supposed to back up then? Slow down, stop. Right there.
I got a camera here.
Well, you're going kind of fast. We need to slow down. This is a little over a foot.
I like the old school cars. This is too much. Electronic. Okay, so this is staying right here. Let's grab the next one.
All right. Both vehicles are loaded on top, as you saw. And I had gone about over a foot. Now that he put the ramp up, because of the type of bumpers they both have, it only has a couple of inches.
That's what you call experience.
Now I'm going to go ahead and load the third vehicle in the middle spot once he puts the 2 bolts in. And then we have one last vehicle to be loaded in the 4th position.
Perfect, just like me. Oh.
3 vehicles are loaded so far. Very small gap there. And I'm going to go ahead and get the 4th vehicle, which of course will be loaded here as he finishes strapping. The last vehicle is loaded. He's going to go ahead and finish strapping the wheels. Then we're going to drop these off at car rental at the airport, and I believe we'll be done for the day. It's 11:38 and he's just strapping down the last 2 tires of the last vehicle before we head out. It's 12:02 and we just arrived at the Sacramento Airport, and we're going to deliver to Avis Budget Car Rental. And it looks as though they're receiving quite a few vehicles. There's 4 large semis with vehicles parked there, and we're the last ones that are parked here. Once we deliver these 4 vehicles, I believe we'll be done for the day. It's 12:31. All vehicles are unloaded and checked in. While he puts his straps away, I'm going to go ahead and use the inverter and toast some bagels. Because on a cold day like this, some nice warm bagels sound amazing. It's 1:06 and 2 vehicles that were previously $34 finally went up to $85 a piece for a Toyota Tacoma and a Ford Explorer. So we're back at Brashers. Gonna pick up these 2 vehicles and take them back to the airport. So originally they were at a very low price for such large vehicles, but now that they've gone up, we went ahead and got them.
You go this way?
It's 1:20 and we pulled both vehicles. We have a Toyota Tacoma and a Ford Explorer. We're gonna go ahead and load these up and we're gonna take them to Avis Budget, where we just dropped off the 4 vehicles. Now, of course, since he only has 2 vehicles, we're on this load. He's gonna go ahead and use the wedge. It's 1:33, both vehicles are loaded. He's gonna go ahead and finish strapping the truck and we will head out to the airport, back to the airport.
Vámonos!
And it looks like we're off. He double checked them one last time before getting in the vehicle. Did you put wheel shocks? It's 1:52 p.m. We made it back to Budget Avis at the Sacramento Airport, and it's 41 degrees. So it's still pretty cold out. We're gonna go ahead and drop these 2 off, and then I believe we will be done for the day. Of course, we have to drive back to Stockton. It's 2:01 p.m. Both vehicles are delivered. Now for our hour drive back to Stockton, drop off the trailer, and we will be finished. To my disappointment, our inverter doesn't work for a toaster. So I guess I'm gonna have to have cold bagels.